Welcome back to Central Valley Talk, where our show today is Artists and Authors. We're on every Thursday at this time, talking to guess who, artists and authors. Our host, Carol Love Forbes, is taking a couple weeks off to recuperate from something or other. She's doing just fine, and we cannot wait for Carol to come back and be here with us. Carol Love Forbes. We love Carol Love Forbes. We love to talk to authors. And one of the benefits, what we've learned through COVID, is to talk to authors all over the world. And our next author is up in the state of Washington, Bonnie Dilibo, who, hey, Bonnie, there she is. She writes science fiction and fantasy, and there's a series going on right now, and it's a Dimensional Alliance series. This is a fourth book in that series. Tell us about it, Bonnie.
Well, so
welcome, by the way. I should have said welcome. And
I'm glad to be here. This is always so much fun for me. This is Ripples of Infinity, and it's the ongoing story that starts out in the Dimensional Alliance. So just to kind of set the stage, the Dimensional Alliance starts out with a young woman in Los Angeles. She's a ghostwriter, and just not too long out of college, she inherits from an aunt she's only met twice in her life a house, a cat, and a key. Turns out the cat isn't a cat. The house has a room in it that couldn't possibly be there. And the key leads her to adventures beyond the universe and teaches her things about herself she never thought were possible. Now, with this fourth book, we start to explore the life of the aunt that's kind of started it all for Jenny. And this takes place back in time.
Kind of a
it's
prequel
Jenny
or prelude.
Reading the aunt's journals.
Oh boy.
And so back in the 50s, the aunt has, by this time, she's around 20 years old.
Same
she's
as Jenny?
been through
Same
two
age as
world
Jenny?
wars and the Depression.
Is she about the age of Jenny is now? The aunt?
Yeah, about
Okay.
the same age that Jenny is now.
How interesting.
Actually, maybe a little younger even. And she lives in a world that is so completely and utterly different than Jenny's world, which Jenny is, now. And so back in the 50s, everything was attached to a wire if it had electricity at all. Phones, you had to dial them and watch the dial go around before you could dial the next number. Record players, some of them weren't even attached to electric power. They got cranked.
Crank them up, yep.
Right? Television screens were this big and they were black and white. And that was a very expensive television set back in the day.
And by the way, the audience this is for anybody, right? I mean, young adult or adult audience.
This is for everybody. It is totally appropriate to young adult. All of my books are family friendly, which I made a vow when I first started writing that I would never write a book that I couldn't read without embarrassment to my grandchildren.
Okay. Well, I was born in the 50s, so I'm excited about just the contrasting the two then and now. And I was thinking this the other day, how our phones used to have wires, and our TVs, we got the signal from somewhere outer space. Now it's switched. Now we all have a cable to our TV and no wire on our phone. So that's
right.
Funny.
Exactly. And here's the really fun part about this is now here's Lizzie. Now remember that Jenny ends up going into this science fiction out into the multiverse and being exposed to technology beyond anything we have experienced at this point in our lives. And yet now here's Lizzie going into that same situation only from the 50s.
Wow.
Can you imagine the culture shock?
So somebody who's read the first three books, this is going to be a great look back at the origins.
Yes, it is definitely the origins. But the way I've read the book, because it's Jenny reading the journals, the other story continues to move forward. So I totally recommend you read the first three books.
Absolutely.
Before you start in on the fourth book, because otherwise there are spoilers.
Yeah. Before we go too much further, where can people get these books?
Okay, so they're available on Amazon, of course, Barnes and Noble, any place that you can buy an ebook. If you're an ebook person, You can buy the ebooks, and for all of these books. Also, you can go to the website. It's dimensionalallianceheadquarters.com, and you can buy signed copies there.
I like that.
Or just actually purchase the books. And
we have all this on the screen, by the way. So if you're watching at home, it's right there, digitalallianceheadquarters.com. If you can't write it down, because that's a long webinar, call me here at Central Valley Talk, and I'll give you all the information.
Cool.
If you need it.
So. And there's a fan page on Facebook. It's called Dimensional Alliance Fan Gate. So,
okay. Now, is there other information on there about the books, like more about the stories or anything?
Oh, yes. So on the website, there's reviews by people who've read the books. There is about the author. There is also a place there that says for libraries and bookstores, and that's a place where libraries and bookstores can get the detail sheets of each of the books that tells all the information that they need, including the ISBN and all that other stuff for ordering and whatnot. So it's a fairly complete site. I'm always still continuing to work on it.
We're looking at the website right now, by the way, and it's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
It's everything you'd want to know for libraries and everything. Yeah.
So, and this Monday, I'm having a launch party on Facebook. If they go to Dimensional Alliance Fan Gate, and go to the events page, they can go and attend a live launch party, virtual, of course, where we're going to be giving away prizes and doing all this kind of cool and lovely stuff. So it's fun. I love getting to interact with my fans. I love the opportunity to interact with librarians and libraries. Right now, I'm doing a gig with the Salinas Library, working with a group for NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writers Month, where people have a challenge to write 50,000 words in a month.
Wow, that's a lot of
words. And it's for beginning and experienced writers and all of that. So we have this little group that we meet every week and talk about our writing journey and all that kind of stuff. These are the things that delight me about what I'm doing right now. It's not only doing the writing that I get to do, which is so much fun to be immersed in this world that's so much different than the world we live in. And then on top of that, I get to help other people with their writing journey, and hopefully make a difference for somebody out there. I think that writing is probably one of the best therapies on the planet.
It is, yeah.
Getting stuff out of your head onto paper, even if it's not perfect, even if it might not be something you ever published, that's not important. But actually writing things down helps you put things into focus, helps you understand maybe a little bit more about what's going on in your head. It's surprising how little we really even understand ourselves, much less the multiverse, right? But
I told you this
before
we came on the air, but I want to say it again with witnesses that Bonnie's one of those rare people that can not only write books, but she could finish writing a book. How many of you finished writing?
Not me, for a very long time. I didn't publish the first book until 2 weeks before my 64th birthday.
Wow. But you've done 4 now or 8? I forget how many total.
There's 4 books total.
Okay.
And I did that in 2018, excuse me.
Okay.
The first book was published in I was right the first time, 2019. It's now 2021, and this is the fourth book in the series. So as you can tell, once I got started, I couldn't stop.
That's good.
But here's the thing, and this is, I think, probably the most important message that I have for our viewers today. Never give up on your dream. I wanted to write a novel back when I was 16 years old, but then life happened. I went into the military, I met my husband, I raised 6 kids. I did all these other really weird things. I was a professional clown for a while. I spent 15 years in broadcast television. I did a lot of stuff. And then I wrote these books.
Then you wrote the book. So it's never too late.
It's never too late, but it's also never too early. There are writers out there that started writing their books in high school.
Yeah. That's good. And anyway, as
Same.
I say, Bonnie can finish writing a book. That's what if somebody's inspired? They're writers. They're inspired by you. That you can not only write but finish writing a book, and they want to get involved in that writers group you mentioned. You're going to be doing something with Salinas Library.
Okay, well, right now, this particular group is on its way. It's kind of in the middle, but starting in January, if you go to the Salinas Library website, starting in Salinas Public Library, you can go to their website, and starting in January, we will be doing free writers workshops.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
To help writers, aspiring writers, to move forward with their projects, learn how to organize their time, learn the pitfalls of publishing, which is very important because there are a lot of scammers out there that are targeting writers.
We have, being Veterans Day, we found a picture of you in your military uniform. Tell us about that.
Did?
Happy Veterans Day to you. Congratulations, and thank you for serving.
Thank you. It's been the choice to serve in the military has changed my life in so many positive ways over time. And I salute all of those who serve, not only in the military, but first responders and people, firemen and doctors, and all those people who serve their communities in so many amazing ways. We can't thank them enough, and we need to remember who they are. And
now, I don't think you can see the picture. Tell us about your military service. What branch were you in?
I was in the Army, and I served long enough to meet my husband and get married. And then I was expecting my first child. Well, back in that day, you didn't get to stay in if you were having a baby.
Oh, boy.
They've changed that since then. But so I went from being in the Army to being a military wife, which was also an interesting challenge and a great experience.
Yes.
But through my experience in the military, I learned to honor and respect those who serve, because there's so much more to it than just being able to point a gun at somebody.
Yes. Now, we're way out of time, and obviously I could talk to you for hours, but give a recap of where people could get the book. I don't want to start on the fourth book. I want to start on the first book. So tell us the whole process of getting a hold of these. By the way, I buy everything on Amazon, even my groceries. So it'll probably be easy for me.
Okay. Amazon is one easy way. Like I said, there's Barnes and Noble. If you buy ebooks, you can get it at any place that sells ebooks, including your library. You can ask your local library, hey, do you have this book? And they will get it for you. So if that's an option for you. Also, you can go to the website. It's Dimensional Alliance Headquarters.com. And there's it's called the DA store, and the tab on there. And so you can go ahead and you can order it through that. And that'll also give you the opportunity to get signed copies. I love signing copies for my fans.
That's great. Now, by the way, you're in the state of Washington. What city?
We're in Richland.
Now, will it snow there? What happens there?
Well, it's part of a very large community called the Tri-Cities. We live in a triangle between the Columbia River, the Snake River, and the Yakima River. So there's water everywhere, but it's desert all the way around, which is really cool. But there's vineyards out here, farms, and it's developing quite a bit of also tech industries in the area. It's constantly growing. It was originally the Hanford nuclear site, which is where the atomic bomb was developed, and blah blah blah. So
okay, well,
rich military history actually out here. So
our guest is Bonnie K.T. Dilibo, the author of the series, the Dimensional Alliance series. Go to dimensionalallianceheadquarters.com, find out more about it, find it on Amazon. If you can't remember, you didn't write all this down, call me at Central Valley Talk. I'll put you in touch with Bonnie. You could go right to her website. You could ask her questions. You could order books. You could get an autographed book. And what a great way. I love when we can contact an author. We will be back with more authors and artists right after this.
Aqua Nails Spa is the most luxurious nails and spa salon in Fresno and Clovis. Our staff are friendly, courteous, and highly skilled. Come in and let us pamper you. Located at 1398 Shaw Avenue in Clovis, California, on the southwest corner of Shaw and Sunnyside. Also located at 1850 Herndon Avenue, Suite 111 in Clovis, California.